It's no great secret that I find Ash's Chikorita to be really, really cringe. And it's no great secret that I find the concept of Ash's Chikorita having a crush on a human is really, really cringe. So I imagine you already know how I'm gonna feel about an episode dedicated completely to Chikorita and its feelings about Ash. Buckle up and subscribe because it's gonna be really, really cringe. We start today's episode in the midst of a battle between Ash's Chikorita and another trainer's Raticate. And Chikorita manages to withstand both a Hyper Fang and a Quick Attack from the Raticate. Nah mate, bollocks, I don't believe it at all. Hyper Fang is 80 base power and same type attack bonus. Couple that with the immediate Quick Attack follow-up, ain't no chance Chikorita's getting up after that. Look, I'm all for suspending our disbelief when we watch this show, but you've got to draw the line somewhere. Now, I get it. Chikorita doesn't want to be swapped out for Pikachu because it has a crush on Ash and it wants to impress him. But someone really needs to remind Chikorita, pissing off the person you like does not make them like you more. If I was Ash at this point, I'd be asking that kid if he wants to trade for his Raticate. Or better yet, just stomping on Chikorita's Pokeball and saying, well, you didn't want to go in the ball and now you never have to. Now bugger off into the wild, you twat. The other trainer and everyone else stand around waiting for Ash to try and return Chikorita to its Pokeball. Until nightfall. They literally wait until this poor kid is shouted in for dinner by his mum. I mean, why the hell did he not just get his Raticate to knock Chikorita out? Oh no, I've just realized with it being a Chikorita-based episode, I'm gonna have to say its name a lot, and because I have a British accent and we don't always pronounce our T's, all the Americans are gonna pick up on it, and all I'm gonna hear is,
where would you like this bottle of water, huh? Do you want this bottle of water? Or would you like a toothbrush for your little teeth? You want some? Do you want to watch some Gordon Ramsay?
Direct quote from Professor Oak after Ash shows off his new Zephyr badge.
Well, congratulations, that's quite the accomplishment. But I hope that in all that excitement, you don't forget to deliver that GS ball.
I hate to break it to you, Oak, but he has done. God, when was the last time the GS ball was even mentioned? I think it was back when I was still relevant. I'm just kidding. I've never been relevant. Find yourself a partner who looks at you the way Professor Oak looks at Ash's Muck. That's a special kind of connection right there. Speaking of that special connection, Muck then takes Oak down to the floor and does something to him that he says tickles. And all of a sudden, Oak has to end the call. Well, you know what those two have rushed off for then, don't you? They've clearly gone to muck each other. Direct quote from Ash.
Looks like everybody's enjoying their dinner.
Yeah. Everybody. Apart from Brock's Pokemon, or any of Misty's Pokemon aside from Togepi. But I guess they're just not important enough to eat with everybody else? That's favoritism right there. Direct quote from Misty whilst the gang are trying to figure out why Ash's Chikorita is being so mardy.
Chikorita's been in such a bad mood, we should start calling it Krabby.
Oh, actually, I've got a better idea. Ash should transport Chikorita back to Oak's lab and swap it out for Kingler.
Well, actually, Liam, I think you'll find that'll leave Ash with 2 water types on his team.
Yeah, as opposed to 2 grass types. What's your point? Direct quote from this Nurse Joy.
Pokemon behavior is clearly driven by psychology.
Mate, tell us something we don't know. Isn't all behavior driven by psychology? Nurse Joy says she has a degree in Pokemon psychology and provides innovative counseling techniques and new Pokemon therapy. And Ash replies,
You mean there's some kind of new Pokemon called therapy?
Ash, mate. Never change. Although now I low-key want to see a new Pokemon based on the concept of therapy. Maybe make it like a psychic-type dinosaur called Theraptor or something. Now, while I take a moment to think about what that would look like, take a moment to hit the like button on this video, share it on social media, and of course, leave a lovely comment down below. And if you can't think of a lovely comment, leave something generic like
Chikorita? More like chicken pizza? Oh. Now I'm hungry.
And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you never miss an episode of Pokemon WTF Moments or anything on my channel. Thank you as always for getting us to 1.76 million subscribers. I know it doesn't look like that right now, but if you subscribe today, maybe YouTube will add that extra 0. And of course, don't forget to check out my live streams over on Twitch or you'll miss out on stuff like this.
Why is one of you in the water? You're weak to water. You're weak to water, you fools! Get away from the ocean, Vulpix! Vulpix, don't. Oh, you'll drown. Oh, God, they've drowned.
Mate, I love this dialogue between Misty and Ash. First up, we have Misty saying,
Therapy is not a Pokemon, Ash. Therapy is what helps you with your psychological problems.
and then Ash replies,
Oh, is that all?
this lad really could not give one solitary shit, could he? Ash Ketchum has zero chill. Pass it on. Brock tries to be flirty with Nurse Joy, but she says she only deals with Pokemon. He then tells her that she'd find him much more interesting than Pokemon. I mean, she better not, mate, or she'll end up in prison. Nurse Joy tells Ash that Chikorita's suffering with envy. Yeah, no shit, mate. It's green with it. Joy has Ash bring Chikorita to a greenhouse in the Pokemon Center so that Chikorita can feel relaxed and comfortable so Ash can return it to its Pokeball. But he did already return it though, that's not the problem. Like he did it earlier when that kid finally bailed on the battle to go in for his tea. So what was the point of this again? After Pikachu heads to the greenhouse at night for some reason, because obviously the way to get Chikorita to like you more is to wake it up in the middle of the night. I don't really know what your plan is here, Pikachu. He sees Chikorita break out of its Pokeball and go skipping off out of the greenhouse. But mate, who the hell left the door open? It wasn't Pikachu, because Pikachu came through a different door that had hinges. Mate, someone at this Pokemon Center's getting fired tomorrow. At the start of this scene, we can hear dogs barking in the distance, even though dogs don't exist in the Pokemon world.
Well, actually, Liam, I think you're forgetting that Growlithe exists, and that's based on a dog.
Right, but Growlithe literally says its name when it barks, and that's not what we just heard, is it? After a bunch of fighting-type Pokemon turn up, Chikorita defeats the lead Primate with a single Vine Whip, and then the Machoke, Hitmonchan, and Hitmonlee all bow at Chikorita's feet. Apparently, that Primate was garbage, and the rest of these Pokemon are all pussy bitches. Pass it on. According to Brock, since Bulbasaur is a grass type, it can sniff out Chikorita's scent. And lo and behold, apparently Bulbasaur can do that, even though it's never been mentioned before and isn't mentioned in the Pokedex. It appears we've come to the anime writers will make up any old bollocks to write their way to an easy conclusion portion of the episode. After Team Rocket overhear Ash and friends talking about Pikachu and Chikorita's disappearance, James tells Meowth via walkie-talkie to look for them. The thing is, Meowth was up there in the hot air balloon before James asked him to look for the missing Pokemon. So what was Meowth doing up there on his own before this? Answers on a postcard. When the fighting-type Pokemon step in to protect Chikorita and Pikachu, Meowth activates his secret weapon, which bursts its way out of a random warehouse behind them. Come on, Meowth, mate, if you knew you were going to be needing this thing, why did you leave it indoors? That's just causing unnecessary property damage. And your criminal record's got to be full enough as it is. Direct quote from Ash after seeing Team Rocket's robot in the distance.
I hope they don't find Chikorita and Pikachu before we do.
I hate to break it to you, Ash, but they have done. All 4 fighting-type Pokemon get knocked out by the robot in a single punch. See? I told you they were garbage.
Well, actually, Liam, I think you'll find you also called them pussy bitches, but they stood up to the robot and that was pretty courageous.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. I guess that is pretty brave. Or just plain stupid. I mean, mate, the thing was like 3 stories tall. What did they think was going to happen? Pikachu tries to use Thunderbolt on a robot made entirely of rubber tires. Get it? Entirely? In all seriousness though, Pikachu should probably know about rubber's lack of conductivity by now. I guess you could say Pikachu is entirely stupid. And something that's never stupid is using code ACE for 10% off G Fuel. G Fuel, as you probably know by now, is an energy formula with barely any calories, 0 sugar, and a whole heap of wonderful flavors like the absolutely delectable watermelon that I'm drinking today. It's an OG flavor and it's a wonderful flavor at that. But I do want to talk about the new Mega Man flavor that's coming out soon because it's going to be absolutely beautiful. It's vanilla and blue raspberry combined and it's going to be freaking amazing. And even better, the shaker is shaped like Mega Man's Mega Buster, and that is something I need to pick up. Now, you won't be able to order this until May the 18th when it releases, but you can join a waitlist so that you get notified by email the moment this is available for purchase, and when you do, you can use code ACE to save 10%. But anyway, let's drink some bloody watermelon. Oh, that is absolutely banging. Go grab yourself some G Fuel, use code ACE when you do to save 10% off, and it helps support the channel, so thank you very much for everybody that uses code ACE. Just remember though, G Fuel is for over 18s only because it contains caffeine, and children don't need to be anywhere near caffeine. They are annoying enough as it is, and because it contains caffeine, drink it responsibly. Don't be a dickhead. After the gang are trying to figure out how to save Pikachu and Chikorita, Brock says,
Hey, what about that antenna?
listen, I know the antenna is a good shout, but also, how about sending out a Pokemon, Brock? You've got got an Onix, and that could absolutely batter Team Rocket right now. Not to mention, you've got a Zubat, which can obviously fly, so it could easily get to the antenna and mess it up. Since Brock, and Misty for that matter, don't seem to want to help, Ash sends out Heracross, who immediately starts sucking on Bulbasaur's bulb. Do you know what? Pokemon are really lucky that using Heracross as a goofy comic relief character is all we can remember, because it helps us forget about the sobering fact that this Pokemon will never be in a gym battle. Ash tells Heracross to use his Horn Toss to launch him up to the antenna.
That's not a move.
Ash's plan to land on top of the robot's head is foiled after Meowth pushes a button that makes the robot lean ever so slightly forward. Wow, this thing's so agile! Whatever are they going to do? I really hope my sarcasm came through there. This was dumb as all hell, just like Ash. Hang on a minute. Let me get this straight. Ash climbs up the water tower and jumps off. The robot leans slightly forward once again, meaning Ash can't land on it and starts plummeting towards the ground. But before he goes splat, Chikorita uses Vine Whip to catch Ash. So why didn't it just use Vine Whip in the first place? For real though, this just shows that Chikorita could have grabbed Ash with its vines and lifted him up to the antenna at any point. It could have even grabbed Ash when he was flying by after the Horn Toss. Or better yet, it could have just used its vines to rip off the antenna. If they're strong enough to hold the weight of a 10-year-old human, they would have easily ripped off that flimsy antenna. As Ash finally lands on top of the robot, I can't help but think this would have been way easier if he still had Charizard. After Ash breaks the antenna, the robot starts going crazy and grabs the two ropes that Team Rocket are using to climb up to the balloon. But how are they both still not in the balloon at this point? This scene's been going on for bloody ages. I can't believe these two are still just dangling there when they could have been in their balloon by now. Meowth uses his claws to cut Jessie and James's ropes so they fall down onto the robot and he can try and escape. Now I know this is very on brand because Meowth is one of the bad guys after all, but even so, what a dick move. Apparently, Jessie and James landing on the robot's head was enough to make the whole thing explode. Mate, I'm no expert, but I'm not sure that's how robots work. Like, I know Meowth said the robot was cheap, but where the hell did they get it from? Wish? Now, remember these fighting type Pokemon? Remember how they were all knocked out by Team Rocket's robot? Ash didn't even try and catch a single one. The lad could have had a Hitmonlee, a Hitmonchan, a Machoke, and a brand new Primate, and he didn't even bother. Neither did Brock or Misty for that matter. Are these three not meant to be Pokemon trainers? If so, why are they so reluctant to catch Pokemon?
Well, actually, Liam, I think you'll find those Pokemon were helpless, and they had just helped to keep Pikachu and Chikorita safe.
So, give a shit. Ash should have caught them anyway. Catching Pokemon should be priority number one for Ash. He can worry about the morality of it after he catches them. Direct quote from Ash.
Thanks, Nurse Joy. You really understand Pokemon.
Wait, what the hell is he talking about? Nurse Joy didn't do anything. Sure, she made a couple of suggestions about why Chikorita was behaving the way it was, but the thing that made Chikorita and Pikachu finally get along was... Wait, what did make them get along? Let's run through this real quick. Chikorita ran away and Pikachu followed it. Chikorita then became the leader of a group of fighting type Pokemon. Team Rocket turned up and attacked. Pikachu and Chikorita both tried attacks on the robot that did nothing and then both got grabbed by the robot. Ash got on top of the robot with Chikorita's help and broke the antenna. And then Meowth dropped Jessie and James onto the robot, which is what then destroyed the robot and sent them all blasting off. So where in that sequence of events did Pikachu and Chikorita settle their differences? Literally nothing was accomplished here, but somehow it all worked out in the end. Pokemon anime writers, man, they really are on a different level. After Pikachu takes its place on Ash's shoulder, Ash tells Chikorita it can have the other shoulder. Mate, what about your other Pokemon? Why doesn't Bulbasaur or Squirtle get the shoulder treatment? After all, you've had them a lot longer than you've had Chikorita. Heracross I can understand, although now I really want to see a full-size Heracross trying to sit on Ash's shoulder, so if anyone can draw, go ahead. But this has made me think though. Ash usually carries Pikachu on his shoulder, and Pikachu should weigh about 13 pounds. Now he's adding a 14-pound Chikorita on the other shoulder, so that's 27 pounds he's carrying around on his shoulders, as well as his backpack. Sounds crap to me. I'd have just kept them in the Pokeballs. Direct quote from the narrator.
After some shaky moments, Chikorita got over its jealousy.
Whoa. Let me stop you there, mate. So it just got over its jealousy, even though nothing happened? That's gotta be the most "and it was all a dream" level bollocks I've heard from this show in a long time. So those are my WTF moments of Pokemon Season 3, Episode 20, Chikorita's Big Upset. Let me know your favorites and any that I might have missed down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Head to twitch.tv/AceTrillium for all of my live streams. I would love to see you there. And of course, use code ACE to save money on G Fuel. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.